if you want to look as sexy as this man right here, go to Sally Shirts today. We got shirts, we got jackets, we got absolutely everything, including the I've been hit by fucking feet shirt. Get it today, Sally Shirts. And don't forget our partners, Relentless Racing League and Rapid Racing League. Reptile's the champion, by the way.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Formula OCE round number 8 here for Tier 2. What has been an exciting first 7 rounds. We're here for the longest stint of the season without a week break. We go for 2 months straight here, running all the way until December / Bathurst. At the moment, Bremer is the best in the wet. The Tier 3 driver reserving in the Ferrari today. And he's looking to prove himself even more and more every single day. And I'll just bring up the chat. Hold on, let me just do a couple of things here, ladies and gents. Ladies and gents, ladies and gents. Chuck the link in the Discord very, very quickly. There's that, and then I'll bring up the chat right now. Formula OCE, and we shall get this underway. On board now with Storm Hutto in the McLaren. It is currently intermediate track conditions as we watch on board. Storm Hutto going to go ahead and cut. Sorry, that was Chapel. No, that's Beckett, sorry. It's going to take me a little while to get used to the corner numbers. Paddy Crow's going to go for a big old spin and take out the 100-metre board before his troubles there down at turn number 2. And that may just distract a few drivers because the 100-metre board is the one you need down there at that braking zone. So anyone not using assists may struggle into that braking zone for the rest of this qualifying 1 session. We've got 18 drivers in here at the moment. We're going to have 19. We would have 20 because we had so many reserves, but one car is filling in as a ban. So the driver has received a race ban from the stewards, so he will not be taking part in this one. And that car is not allowed to drive it, so only the Haas is allowed to drive. The Haas team principal Pinju is allowed to drive, as his teammate Purex received a race ban for some safety car issues and a few other things as well. Is this Frizy, ladies and gentlemen? He's a 10th and a half up. He's had a fairly good season. I'm just going to bring the standings right on up. Frizzy's had a really dry spell here at the moment in Tier 2. He hasn't scored points since Spain. He's had 3 DNFs and 1 race where he didn't start, and then there was also a race where he last time out didn't score points. Otherwise, where are we? Otherwise, for the other drivers, we get towards the end of this lap with Frizzy, man that some of you may know as the Tier 3 commentator as well. But we'll go through the standings a little later. Frizzy does improve, but not in the position, as drivers just out there at the moment, just doing lap after lap after lap, trying to get themselves through. Most of the drivers are on the track, so it could be getting a bit congested out here. It could be tough to find some space of your own. Also, warnings and penalties, as we've already seen in Tier 3 and F2, are going to be huge here. Spingy goes ahead and invalidates again. Coddy's going to be set his lap though, 139.209, going to put himself just ahead of the Alfa Romeo driver, Paddy Crowe. RL Dutchy has invalidated as well as Pinju. Mukping finally going to start his first lap here in round 8. He's had a really good season. I think he's just doing a bit of a Carlos Sainz at the moment in this championship, as Oxy goes to the top, a 37.3. We know he's absolutely lightning in the rain. As we saw in Austria, he got past Dutchy and just ran away with it. This guy is a beast in the wet on this game. So what we're going to do here is Paddy Crowe. Is he starting a lap now? Let's see. Let's go on board for a commentated lap here of Paddy Crowe in the Alfa Romeo. Now through the final corner, he's going to be just a little cautious there on the accelerator as he comes through. His traction is quite tight there. Little lift here, down to 6 before shifting back up to 7th quickly. Just safety up into 8th, braking in between the 50 and what would be the 100, but it's not going to be the 100 because this man took it out earlier with a spin. Looking good through 4 and then 5. A little cautious on the throttle there through 5 as well. Very easy to lose the rear end in these conditions. Now, braking just at the 50 metre board for Paddy Crowe, turning it in, taking a very late apex. You want to do that for both of these corners. Clipping it as late as you can, getting the best exit, carrying the speed all the way down the old start, finish straight, and into the old turn 1. Which is normally just about flat, but is going to be probably down in the 7th, and is for Paddy Crowe in these conditions. Makes it much more of a tricky corner in the wets. Now, how does he go through Maggots? Okay, Beckett's is a bit cautious, and then Chapel is a lot slower than you would expect it to be. What would normally be DRS Open isn't going to be this time. He's 6/10 up though. Paddy Crowe is a very nice lap. This could put him inside the top 7 if he keeps on improving this time. Now, into the last sector. Very nicely flipped up there. 3 corners to go. How does he go through the final chicane, braking just about the 100 metre board, turning it in, very easy to lose the rear end here. He's going to want a quick short shift up to 4th, and does. Up to 5th now, cautious on the accelerator, up to the line, 8/10 of an improvement, and he's barely behind Bearded Aussie, and he goes P7, a very, very nice lap there for Paddy Crowe, and he'll be looking to probably improve on that just a little bit more in this session. Who else are we looking at? 3 drivers still yet to settle up. Dutchy, however, is about to make it over 2 as he's going to set his first lap in this qualifying session, and it looks good. Is it going to be good enough? No, it's not. Goes P2. Oxy holds his provisional pole position here in qualifying 1 and looks to be almost definitely safe, but Dutchy, a very nice lap there, gives himself just under a 4/10 buffer. Mukping is also about to set his first lap here. As I was saying before, he's had a very good season, and we'll be looking to carry that on and into this round here as he goes up to P9 with his first lap, just behind Paddy Crowe, and a very nice lap there from Mukping. Although it won't be safe, I think you're going to need a low 38 here maybe, as Crew to Come has gone for a bit of a spin down at the tricky traction zone of turn 4. start a lap. Let's watch on board here with the McLaren driver and just enjoy the camera angles here from the game for the rest of this lap. Across the line for Fanatical. It's a very nice lap. Puts him P3 at the moment. During that lap, as you saw, you might have seen me just bring up the HUD again. Dutchy did retire, but that was in the pits. I thought he might have had a crash. What about Goats, your championship rival? Because I believe Oxy has already taken the lead of the championship. Let me double check that one. No, Goats still does have the lead, but it's only 3 points at the top. He's currently sitting down in the elimination zone on a 41-1. And that is not where he's going to want to be. The Alpine team principal is going to need to improve by a good couple of seconds there to be safe. Or even thinking about being safe. We'll come back to him later on. As you'd think Oxy... Oh, Storm's actually. Sorry, we've missed that. Storm up to P2. He's done a nice lap there. Dutchy may have pulled the pin a little early, as all the drivers will be looking to improve lap on lap on lap here. The key thing to do in these situations is just chuck as much fuel in the car as you can and go for as long as you can. As Urban Growth improves to P9, and Frizy and Bremer have set the exact same lap time, ladies and gentlemen. Wouldn't that be scenes if that costs one of them the session? I've got a minute left on the time, but it's probably more than a minute, given that we've got a few drivers in the pits and that we were waiting a little while at the start of this one. Karma now in the other Alfa Romeo. Got an Italian-style helmet on. Is that not just Antonio Giovinazzi's helmet? Not sure, I believe it is. But anyway, Karma, 3 corners to go now. Looking to improve and get himself out of the danger zone. Looks like he may very well just go and do that. Only P12 though, so he's going to need to find more pace there to even think about getting through into the next qualifying session. Frizy has retired, and that's in the pits. So he's confident with his lap of the 38.030. But Bremer's out there again. He's not going to improve though. And Oxy has the checkered flag, but no one else does. So interesting. We want to go to the Red Bull. Elongated. And he goes across the line, goes to P5 for the 137.694. A good lap there from the Red Bull driver. Pinju yet to set a lap. Is he invalidated this one? No, he hasn't. This is going to be the first lap set for Pinju. And it may be the last lap he sets. And it's a 136.945. And the first driver to touch the 36s in this qualifying session. I think we will be pulling towards the end of this qualifying session. Goats for life, 8/10 up here. This could be a cracker here for Goats. Can he match Pinju, getting the 36s? It's a little rough through that sequence of corners. It's not going to be a 36, but it's going to be enough for P3. And only a 10th behind Oxygen Thief. Goats showing a little bit of confidence here towards the end of qualifying. And the the last laps are going to need to be set now. Frizy could be in trouble here. Ozvox has had a huge crash. We've just seen that happen in front. Kruder could be in trouble here. Let's watch on board. Paddy Crow, he's a 10th up. Can he knock out someone like Kruder Kama or an Urban Growth? Kruder isn't going to improve. Is Kodia going to improve? I don't think he is. So Paddy Crow just needs to beat Kodia by 0.005 of a second. And he will get through to the next qualifying session and knock out the Alpine second driver. And he's going to go ahead and do that. It's 14th and 15th for Alfa Romeo. But more importantly, Kodia, after having a good couple of races recently. Let me confirm that. Where is he, Kodia? Yeah, he's had a good few races other than DNF last time out. He's out in Q1 as well as Ozvox and War Machine. So AlphaTauri having a bit of a struggle here. And a bit of a shame there for the AlphaTauri team principal of the session. Just waiting on a few drivers to retire. In fact, just waiting on the Alpine of Kodia, who is out in this session. We've only lost the 3 drivers, however, it will also be JTM and technically Purex. JTM will be starting P19 as he's had to join during this session. So that's a bit of a shame for him. He couldn't even make it to quali, but at least he will be able to join for the race. And yep, as you can see, the top 14 for qualifying number 1, Pinju, is going to take provisional pole from Oxygen Thief and Goats for Life. A very nice lap there from Pinju. I think Goats definitely, Oxygen Thief definitely could have matched that, but he just went out early. I believe he only did the 1 lap, and then came back. Oh no, he did 3, but they were all in the same set and said, "Yep, that'll do me. Thank you very much." That is my qualifying 1 over. So we've lost both AlphaTauris and an Alpine and a Mercedes from this session. Alfa Romeo keeping it very close in 14th and 15th. Urban Growth also, well, to be honest, he was clear by quite some margin, but Alfa Romeo very, very close. By less than a tenth, both of them get through. But into quali number 2 now, and the rain is going to continue to fall here in Silverstone, or Britain, or whatever you want to call it. First driver's out. Well, I was going to say it's going to be the Aston Martin of Bearded Aussie, or sorry, Dutchy, but he's actually just been jumped by Bremer. I don't think the Aston Martin driver will be too happy about that. I think he would have wanted to be first out. There's a sneak peek of that Aston Martin safety car that we are yet to see this weekend out on track. There's Bremer running number 2. Let's just curiosity killed the car. 23 on Dutchy. He's actually spitting a lot of chips about that number going to be removed in next year's game, as Alex Albon will return. Number 2 also on crack, so both Ferrari's running number 2. I think number 2 is a very popular number in this game. What about Pinju? He's running 27. It's an interesting number. I don't know why he runs that number, but probably a reason behind it. What about Oxy? What does he run? He runs number 2 as well. What about Elong? I think that's 25? Or is it 50? It can't be 55, so it's got to be 25, doesn't it? I can't tell. Is it 85? It looks like 55, but it can't be. Anyway, what about Mukbing? He runs 88. What about Paddy Crow? What does he run? He runs 89, that makes sense. Bearded Aussie runs 98. I wonder if that's a bit of a fanboy there. I think we've seen everyone else, to be honest. Yeah, there's a little bit of a sneak peek. Number 2 seems to be a very popular number here in Tier 2. But the first driver to set a lap is going to be RRL Dutchy. Sorry, I've just gone around the world to see that. So let's watch this lap here from Dutchy on board now. I don't have any of a HUD on because this game's trash. Now, turn 1, how does he go? Slight lift, back on the throttle, down to 7th. He won't touch 8th here. He's going to jump on the brakes just at the start of that curve on the outside. Chuck it in second. Normally would be in third, but because we're in these intermediate conditions, it's going to be second. Now very easy on the throttle here at this corner. And then turn 4 also can throw you out. Oh, sorry, that was turn 5. Can throw you out if you don't take the right line. Braking it just about the 50-meter board in the wet. Taking late apexes as much as you can. As Dutchy's going to opt for the double apex there at Stowe. I believe it's Stowe. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. Now, through the fast right-hander, the old turn 1. What's normally fast, he's had to go down to 6th. It's almost flat in the dry. But as we know, it is not dry. And we've had McLaren had a spin, I think, at turn number 2. We'll come back to that one. Continue watching on board here with Dutchy. It's going to be a 1:11.0 in the second sector. I believe that's actually quite a good split there from Mr. Dutchy. Running the Casper Ackermann helmet. Oh, traction very, very hard to come by there. Out of the final corner, it's only 37.8. He did a much better lap than that in Q1, and Grandma is going to prove that wasn't a very good lap and beat him straight away, a 7.9. We've got an Alfa Romeo next. No, sorry, Craig Blunen going to go with a 38.1. That's Kritikama starting a lap, actually. What about Elon? What has he got to offer here? He's got Bearded Aussie just behind him. He's going to lock up on the inside there. And now 1 corner to go. Very cautious on the throttle, and it's going to be the fastest lap so far, but Bearded Aussie is going to go ahead and take that straight off him with a 37.2, and a very nice lap from Bearded Aussie, who seems to be feeling these wet conditions very, very much. Paddy Crowe next across the line. How does he go? Only a 38.5. That is not good enough at all from Paddy Crowe to even think about getting into qualifying number 3. Buck Ping only 37.9. He's going to have to improve on that one as well. What about Urban? He goes a 37.6. So some of the drivers that probably towards that midfield are really liking the rain at the moment. Goats for Life, the championship leader, has invalidated this lap, so we'll come back to him later on. What about Dutchy? How's he going? He's down in 6th at the moment after setting the first lap. He's only up by 2/10 too, so this could only be P4 for Dutchy. He'll be hoping he can find a little more time here, but it looks to be getting a bit of oversteer there through the second last corner and the final corner. It's going to be an improvement of 3.16 and he's going to slot just behind Oxygen Thief into P number 3. And Bremer won't improve this time. What about Kritikama? The reserve driver here for Alfa Romeo. How does he go this time? It's a good lap for here from Kruder. He's going to go nearly to the top. 137.2, so the sandbags were well and truly on in Q1, and he's showing his real pace now. Elongated, not going to be able to improve that lap, so it might have been a cool down and go again there for Elon. What about Oxy? Does he improve? He does by 2/10. Holds position, but gains that time over Dutchy. How about Paddy Crowe? Is he going to improve this lap? He's going to improve it by only by 1/10.5, and that's still not enough to get him close to the top 10. Interestingly, Frizy yet to come out here in this session. As I say that, he does leave the pit lane. He's now going to start his outlap. But 8 minutes to go in this second qualifying session. Lots of drivers on track, only 2 in the lane. Out of the 15 out there running at the moment. And the times you'd think will continue to tumble as the session goes on. Goats for Life only good enough for P10 at 38.0. That's going to have to be improved on quite significantly. Pinju, how does he go? He likes the rain too. And it's a 37.0, so he's not quite matched his Q1 time. But you'd think that'll be enough to get him through into qualifying number 3 here today. Crew to Karma going again, I think, in the Alfa Romeo. He's a 10th and a half up, he nearly invalidates there at the second last corner. One corner to go. Flat out, and it's going to be provisional pole for Crew to Karma at 36.8. And that is the fastest time we have seen so far in this qualifying session. Oxy in the pits. What about Elon? Yeah, both Red Bulls opting to have enough of this first stint on these tyres. What about Petty Pro? He's going to follow the Red Bulls in, I think. Yes, he is. I'd just given Muck Ping a little bit of slipstream there down that little straight before the final chicane. Muck Ping suffering from a bit of understeer. Might be using a dry setup as I don't know the weather for the race. And it's P6 for the time being. What about his teammate? Where does Frizy go? He's starting a lap, so he won't go anywhere this time. But next time he comes across the line, he will move up the leaderboard. Now Urban Growth. And it's 37.6 at the moment. He's not going to improve at this lap, as we see one of the McLarens come on into the pits. This Goats for life now. He's going to want to improve. He's only up by 2.5 tenths here, the championship leader. May have lost a lot of time in this final sector, and I think he has. He's gained another 2 and a bit tenths there, and it's going to be P8, but Storm Hutto going to chuck it up in P3 with a 37.1. And that is a very, very decent lap there from him. The McLaren team principal, who is looking very good as well this season. Also similarly doing a bit of a colour science. The last few rounds have gone not so well, but he started the season really, really well, and he's missed a couple of races, so sitting in P6 at the moment, but with the pace he's showing here at the moment at Silverstone, anything is possible. Now, we'll come back to Fries. He's his teammate. He's going to cross the line a little before him. He's a 10th up. Here's Muck Ping. He's got the fuel light on though. And he's going to finish this lap though. So he's committed to the cause. All he has to do is get these few corners right, which is easier said than done. Final corner. Clips the apex. Gains a couple of tenths. And P5 4. Now what about Frizy? How does he go? He stays P15. 10th down from Paddy Crow, who I know struggles a little bit in these conditions. He much prefers the dry in this game, and he's showing that at the moment in queue number 2. Urban Growth up to P7. He's doing awesomely. Is Urban Growth one of the only drivers yet to score points this season, I believe. Let me just double check that. Yep, one of the few drivers to... Actually, there's quite a few drivers that haven't scored points, but one of the drivers yet to score points, as we see Storm right behind Goats here. Goats is going to there at turn 2. And Storm's also going to invalidate there at turn 2. Let's go down to the Ferrari of Crackburn. It's purple in the middle sector. Whether that's actually purple or not, we'll be telling here shortly. Up to the 100 metre board, braking just around the 100 metre board, maybe a little bit after it. And it's going to be a 37.4 for Crack, and only good enough for P9, as the times are very close here at the moment. In qualifying number 2, who's on a lap? Frizy. He's sitting behind Elongated, who's on an out lap. Elon might want to just jump out of the way quickly of Frizy, or maybe not. He's not going to opt to. Frizy, I'm not sure if he's up or not. But he's going to need to improve by about a second to even think about qualifying number 3. And he's not going to improve by a second. He's going to improve by 3 tenths and put himself ahead of Paddy Crow, but that's it. He's got to find another 5 tenths to even get close to Bremer, who at one stage was looking good for like a top 10 or something. So, Urban Growth flying the flag for Mercedes at the moment. Goats into the pits. What about Storm? Is he going to go into the pits? No, he's going to set up for another lap here. He's already probably done close to a good enough lap, and he's going to get the oversteer there out of the second last corner, and that's going to cost him all the way down into turn 1, which normally would cost you all the way down in turn 3, but because we're in the wet, it's an actual corner. Turn Run Loves will come back to Storm later on. Crack Lunenard to 10th and a half. This is good from Crack. This is very good. This could put him into the top 5 if the final sector is good. Braking at the 100-metre board, throw it in. Don't use that too much curb to where the rear end steps out. Use the traction control that Craig Clunan has enabled. And across the line, it's a 37.1 and P4. Craig Clunan, don't mind if you do, matey. Very well done, Paddy Crowe. Next one to set a lap time. And then it will be someone else. Paddy Crowe not going to improve, actually. I think it's going to be Frizy next one to improve. I think Storm's had an issue. I believe Storm may have done a Sebastian Vettel. Frizy up to P12. It's not enough still. I believe Storm has done a Sebastian Vettel and he's lost his entire front wing. I think... No, he's still got the front wing, but he's going to have some very hot tyres at the moment. So let's go on board with the... Never mind. Who is on a lap? Article is, Frizy is. There is a massive train there at turns 4 and 5 going into 6. Very interesting there. One of the Ferraris ending it here. No, that's not. He's on a lap though. It's Fanatic. No, sorry. Storm. Storm will be on a lap. No, he won't. What am I on about here? Is Paddy on a lap? Oh, Paddy could be on a lap. It's Craig. Well, Craig's actually on a lap, is he? It's down, no. And Craig's going to bring it in the pits, so qualifying done there for Craig Clunan. He's comfortable with his 37.1. My time's corrected in the top left. That is session over for Craig, Bearded and Mudpig. However, it could be a few seconds off, which will still get them out, but I'm not too sure. Paddy Crowe pushing as hard as ever here, trying to get off the bottom step in Q2. How does he go? It's going to be an improvement. It's not going to be enough, though. It's still going to be only P15. Paddy Crowe's going to need to continue the push if he wants to have anything go his way here in this session. Look, the traffic jam that is the final few corners at the moment. Drivers absolutely everywhere trying to get the best of the conditions at the end when it matters. Who's going to be the first one to set a lap here, I wonder? And Elong's invalidated. Interesting, that could be crucial towards the end of this session. Let's go. Bremer is going to be the first one to set a lap time. Craig Clunan and Bearded and Mukping are done in qualifying number 2. They are just hoping and praying that no one improves behind them and they can safely make their way into Q3. Nevertheless, watching on here with Bremer. Oh, he gets very close to the exit curve there, pushing very hard here to try and get himself through to Q3, which would be an absolutely awesome achievement here at one of the more difficult tracks on the calendar. And I don't think it's quite going to be enough. No, P12 for Bremer, so he is done. Oxy only good enough for P9. Fanatical, sorry, Storm good enough for the top of the leaderboard on 36.6 if you don't mind. Paddy Crowe, how's he? Oh, he's 6.5 tenths up here. Is the big cut. This could be good enough for maybe his 6th row. If he can really nail this final corner, he might be able to sneak in the top 10. But he's got to nail these last couple of corners. It was not bad at all there from Paddy Crowe. It's going to be a pretty decent lap. Never mind, sorry. Hyping is up for no reason. Dutchy only good enough for P8, so some drivers are improving massively, some drivers are really struggling. Fanatical, does he get through? Yes, he does. P5. Elong's done. I'm going to miss a bunch of times here, I'm sorry. Oh, Pidgey spun out of the final corner. And it's only Crew to left. He's going to be through. And all the drivers are done. And Pinju has had a bit of a spinala at the second last corner. And it's been caught on the stream. We've lost 5 more drivers. And crucially, Oxygen Thief, this person I thought was probably the king of the wet on this game in this tier, is out. P11. He will be the definition of spit and chips so far in this session. Frizy will also be spit and chips down there in 14th. Paddy Crowe will be a little disappointed to be down in 15th. Bremer 13th. A good result for him in the end, beating a few tier 2 drivers and getting himself in a decent position for the start of this race, considering Urban Growth P12, a great result from him. as he looks to get his first points this season. And then Oxygen Thief, the man 3 points off the lead of the championship, is out in Q2. Dutchy also probably has some brown stuff in his pants now. But 5.8 tenths between the top 10. And look at the gap between Oxy and Urban Growth, 1 tenth. The whole 15 drivers in the wet, separated by 9 tenths at a track like Silverstone, is seriously impressive from these drivers and really showing their skills here. 6.1 tenths between the top 12 is an awesome effort, and just showing that a lock-up or a little issue somewhere along the line can just cost you the qualifying position. I think Oxygen Thief will be feeling the definition of that at the moment, as he misses out on Q1 by a couple of hundredths. Q3, sorry, by a couple of hundredths. But one qualifying session to go. It's going to continue to be raining. And we are getting ready for the final dash. The drivers will have used a lot of intermediate tyres at this stage. Probably only one set left. And a 12-minute session. What I would do is I'd fill up, go for about 6 minutes, come in, and then fuel up, go for about 4 minutes, and use the freshest tyres that I have available, as we've got a driverless Alfa Romeo. Did everybody just see that on the stream? We have a driverless Alfa Romeo. Let's watch this as it comes out the pits. We have no one driving the Alfa Romeo. Oh, here he is. Gruder, mate. I know you're Aussie and all, but Mark Webbering it, really? Don't know if that's the strat, mate. To be honest, I don't know if that's really the safest way to get around the track. So you ladies and gents watching the stream at the moment, give us some ideas on who you think maybe on for pole here in Britain. We've seen names into the cars. A big tank slapper out of old turn 1 for Gruder. But I think there's about 5 drivers in the running to definitely get this pole, but I think any of the top 10 could get it. Just whether they can get that final lap or not. Winter reckons it's going to be Pinju or Storm Hutto. It's not a bad shout at all. Storm's looked extremely quick here. Has obviously spent that week break getting some practice in or something. Let's watch on board with the Ferrari in his first lap here in qualifying number 3. Crack comes across the line. Not the greatest lap we have seen from these drivers, and we're definitely expecting a 36 in this session. Cruder a 37.1, Bearded a 37.1, Crack only a 37.6, so a low 37 is where you're going to need to be. Goat says a 38.000. It's going to be much easier to focus on these drivers, as there's only 10 to focus on and not 15 towards the end of the session. Muckping, 37.126. It's already tight as hell. As Pinjugo looks a lot oversteering there actually. And it's not good. 55.0. However, he's got that lap on the board now, so we can focus on other things now. Fanatical, who, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, Scott's got Cruder P1, aka the Kahoot God. Dutchy just confirms me saying he was shitting bricks there in P10. And Fanatical actually going to opt to not set that lap time and come into the pits. And Crack Blunin, P4. That's improved. Bearded Aussie is on another level here in Britain. This is the pace he'll be hoping to show for the rest of the season. How does he look in this end? He does have a Bearded Aussie. He's currently sitting 11th. He's had a few good results, but he's missed 3 races, so missing those 3 races has really cost him a little bit. And Muckping goes to the top of 36.7. And Storm only P3, only at 37, so he'll be probably slightly disappointed with that as Pinju goes to the top of 8.20. 36.6. God, if it was a 20, I'd be screaming off my head, to be honest. Be like, how many corners did you cut, Mr. Pinju? Pinju back to P1. Muckping P1. Interesting. I mean, he's definitely got the pace to do it. It's just whether he can hook it up or not. I reckon Crack's not a bad shout for a top 3 or a front 2 rows. To be honest, I have no idea who's going to get pole. Could be any single one of these drivers. Crack only good enough for P6 at the moment though. Code's going to go ahead and invalidate there. He'll just bring it in the pits. What about Muckping? 2.5 tenths down, that's not enough. Storm though is a 10.5 up. To be honest, he's going to need to find a couple of tenths in the final sector though. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, a few of these drivers could be on the used set of intermediate tyres, saving that fresh set for the very end here, where it matters, the business end of Q3. Storm will take P3. Only marginally behind Muckping. Actually continue to push on as well as Pinju in the pits. What about Crack? See the drivers coming back out on track now. Crack's on up. Storm he's a 10th up. Let's keep on board here with Storm. Only driver currently on a lap. Winter says pretty close. Yeah, no, too true. Ladies and gentlemen over on YouTube, just pause the video right now, type in the comments, you know, who do you think is on pole if you haven't seen who gets pole here. We got just under 3 minutes to go in qualifying number 3. And I genuinely think any of these 10 drivers could get pole if they hook the lap up. But pause the video right now and type below who's going to get that pole position here today. As Kahoot says, I'm going to grab the pole position. Well, mate, we'll save that for tomorrow, eh? Me and my 0 laps of practice. Storm's actually going to go ahead and validate there at the fourth last corner. Really bad on my names. Apologise, guys. Noodles, no. Oh, I think Cruder's had a spin. No, he's just slowing down. Oh, that would have been sayings. Storm had a spin? No, probably just let his teammate go. Alright, so Fanatical is going to be the next one to set a lap. Storm won't set his lap. I don't think he's going to go for a cooldown and then push for the final time. So Fanatical will be the next one to set a lap. And then Cruder Karma. Alright, so now it's getting sexual in the chat between Kahoot and Noodles. Interesting. Winter reckons Dutchy might come up with a cracker. My dirty air tomorrow. Oh, interesting. Fanatical doing a mediocre lap here. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing too flashy about it though. Just keeping the car within the limits comfortably, but still pushing quite hard. You'd think. The sweat probably dripping off this man's face at this stage. Probably dripping from ear to ear. He's going to invalidate there at Chapel. And that's real disappointing for him. He's going to be able to come back around and set another go again, but it's just a bit of a shame. Cruder Karma's also invalidated. He's also going to get a second chance. But that could be the story of this session. Drivers invalidating, not getting that final up in. Dutchy though, trying to get the toe off Cruder Karma, who is... And that is desperation at its finest from the Dutchman. And Dutchy, what is his first lap? It's a 36.9. And we know 36 is going to need to be good. I was thinking maybe a high 36 might get pole. At this stage, we're looking at a mid 36 is going to be pole. So... Mate, to be honest, any prediction I have, Blackburn, is he going to miss the line? No, my timer was slightly off. Every driver is currently on a lap. The session on my screen has ended. Goats, no! Championship leader has made an error at the second last corner, and that is session-ending things there. Fanatical's had a crash. Hold on, can we quickly catch this on board with Dutchy? I think he's done a Seb Vettel, but much, much worse. Let's have a look. Yes, he has. He's literally done the exact same thing. Elong, only good for P6. What about Bearded? He's invalidated. He'll stay at least P4 in this session. Mukbing, he's up in P2. He's a second down. He's invalidated. He's done. Pinju. He hasn't invalidated. He's got 3 corners to go. Can he extend the lead of this pole position? No, he can't. See you later. He's had a spin. That lap will not be improved on. So Storm needs to find just over a 10th to get this pole position. Can he do it? Pinju has stayed off the track very nicely there. Storm taking as much courtesy, and he's going to get pole. Storm Hutto on pole position. So far, we've got a few drivers yet to improve. Dutchy 3/10 up. He could be one to look forward to get on the front row. How does he do through the final corner? It's going to be P2. Cruder Karma, how does he go? He's 4.5 tenths up. This could be a front row. Cruder Karma takes the front row off Dutchy. Crack Boone, the last driver to settle up. He's down at P8. Can he move forward in this one? Getting on the power very early there. And it's going to be a decent one from Crack. I think he only stayed P8 though. So Storm Hutto with pole position in Britain here at Silverstone by 0.033 over Cruder Karma and then Dutchy, who was 2/10 off the pace. And what a qualifying session, 8/10 between the top 8. As I think Crack did invalidate at that final corner. Who else Pinju did look up on his lap, but had a bit of a spin on the final corner. And, yep, that ruined his chances of getting pole position this time. Mukping P5 bearded Aussie P6. An awesome result there from the Aston Martin driver. Elong P7, that's about where he normally is, but he always comes through the field in the race. Crack Blunen, that's about where he is, but the real surprise, other than Oxy out in Q1, is Goats for Life, the championship leader, down in P9 after making some mistakes in his final couple of laps and not being able to set the dedicated lap time. So that'll be really good for Oxygen Thief. He'll be absolutely cheering about that he doesn't have to worry about Goats, because he'll be starting directly ahead of him. He was probably expecting Goats to get in that top 5 and really just get a good start and pull away, but he hasn't been able to get a good qualifying 3 session out, and we are now ready for the race. It's overcast here in Silverstone, but no rain at the moment. All the drivers are going to get a free tyre choice, so everyone will probably start on the mediums. No, interesting. Very split strategy here. I think it's about 50-50. As we'll look at the graphics here in a second when they come up. Let's go tyre. Enable, disable, full track map. So we have Storm, Dutchy, Pinchu, Bearded, Goats, Fanatical, Oxy, Urban, Bryzy, Kodia, and JTM on the mediums. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of the 19 on the mediums, and 8 of the 19 on the softs. Obviously that 20th driver has got a race ban. If you guys are just tuning in or skipped to the race in the YouTube video, which I don't really blame you for doing either, we have one driver serving his race ban here, so only 19 drivers. But, ladies and gentlemen, as we do normally, Reedy just checking who's got the race ban. Purex has got the race ban for causing some issues on the safety car last time out in Austria. You've lost my train of thought, man. Can't remember what I was saying. No, can't remember it. It's gone. Anyway. Red Bull have taken the fastest, fun fact of the day, fastest lap of the race. The last 3 rounds has gone to Red Bull. There's your fun fact of the day, ladies and gentlemen. You're very, very welcome. So Oxy and Elong, will they be able to keep that going for a 4th race in a row? We'll see very, very shortly. But we get to this stage every weekend. Let's just get your votes in the chat and in the YouTube comments, as Storm is being cucked here by Kruda Kama, who is holding the pack up, and Storm is going to get taken by the AI now. Kruda is holding everybody up, so the grid will make its way there now. But pause the video right now. Let's just get your predictions in the YouTube comments or in the chat. Your top 3, and then someone you expect to do really, really well from a position that they aren't supposed to be in on pace, or you know, they come through and do a really good job on strategy or whatnot. But ladies and gentlemen, we are nearly ready as we watch JTM, the final driver, pull up to his grid spot. As we know, he didn't qualify, but he's here now. JTM last to podium, says Winter. Let's go on board here for 5 red lights in the British Grand Prix. And away we go here, ladies and gentlemen. It's a good start for Storm Hutto. He's going to have the lead into turn 1 comfortably over Kruda Kama. And here we go. Where's the carnage at? There it is. It's the Williams of Mukping going backwards. And it looks like everyone else has managed to survive. No! It's elongated going around there at turn number 3. And it's looking like everyone else is going to be all right here. There's a bit of contact there between Ferrari and Oxygen Thief. So We have 2 spinners on lap 1. I think there might have been a bit of contact there. I'm not overly sure. It's chaos down here at the back. Kurutama has got the lead of the race. Something's happened to Storm. He's going backwards significantly. Kurutama did start on those softs, remember, so he's going to be very quick here at the start of this race. And Dutch are going to go right around the outside here on the dries. We've got Oz Vox. He's had an issue down there at Stowe. And it looks pretty good here out the front. Goats Fly running off the track there. Warnings are going to be quite plentiful here in this Grand Prix, you'd think. But the trains are going to be even more regular, as DRS at this track is incredibly powerful. And Kurutama has done exactly what he needed to do. Get out in front as early as he can and pull away and use those softs to his advantage. Now Kuruta could very well play this right into his own hands. Fastest lap for Kuruta, but everyone sitting single file at the moment, and a very, very chaotic start to this Grand Prix. So we've got another spin we can do with Kurutama's out of the race! Kurutama has crashed out of the race, and out of the race lead on lap number 2, and a virtual safety car has been deployed, and that's a huge error from Kurutama. It only took 1 lap for us to get a crash and a retirement, and it happened already. I'm expecting a message anytime soon in the chat about Kurutama being quite annoyed with himself there. He looked to have the race in his hands pretty much, as all he had to do was just pull away on those softs, but a little error there at turn 1 and 2. Up in the fence and out of the British Grand Prix early. We've got a virtual safety car here, ladies and gentlemen, which has now ended. Storm's been caught out here. Pinju could get the run here into Maggots. He's going to go up the inside. He's going to mount the curb and get some air. There's contact, and Pinju has gone around with contact with Storm Hutto, your pole sitter, and he's actually ended up back in the middle of the track. So a little bit of frustration there shown by Pinju. But mounting that curb may not have been the way. Mukping, I think, no, who is it? Frizy has had an issue there too. So 2 drivers, 2 team principals nevertheless, with big dramas here at the moment. Physical changes all over the shop. Fanatical and Bearded Aussie going to bring it on in the pits, as DRS is going to get enabled this lap. Paddy Crow up to P9. Dutchy with a 2.6 second lead now after that battle with Storm, and Pinju ending in Pinju in the lane with a front wing change, no doubt, and a long race back now. Goats just got to try and stick with Storm Hutto here as we look at the tyres real quick. Top 3 all on mediums with Crack and Brembo, the 2 Ferraris on softs behind them. Oxy also has managed to get his way up into P6. So the normal top 3 have done well to get into that normal top 3 position, and we look at the positions gained. JTM has gone from last to 7th. He's up 12 positions in this one. Bremer is up 8. War Machine is up 7. Cody is up 8. Paddy Crow is up 6. Goats for Life is up 6. There are some huge winners here in the British Grand Prix, but there's some huge losers. Kurutama out of this race and 17 positions down. Pinju in last of the running drivers, 11 seconds behind the next car and 14 positions lost. Fanatical 7 positions lost, and Bearded Aussie 10 positions lost, as well as Mike Pink 9 positions lost, as War Machine's going to lose that position to Elongated, who had a lap 1 spin. And Winter's shout of JTM last to podium mightn't be so bad of a shout now, as the battle for P2 is well and truly on. We've got Fanatical out of this race again. Fanatical out of a Grand Prix, and that's not for the first time this season. He's done a Max Verstappen on his own, and we've got another virtual safety car here in Silverstone, and Pinju's just going to cost him. So that was definitely a warning, wasn't it, Pinju? Yeah, no. Let's have a look. Just yep. 2 warnings, so. Look! Oh my days, look at the incidents. We've got another virtual safety car. And I wonder if this track is also buggy. Rapid Vajala just giving a bit of pain there to Pinju, letting him know that he can't handle Div 2, needs to take a break in Div 1. And the second virtual safety car has been deployed here for Fanatical DNFing for, let me just count how many times. Fanatical has DNF'd 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 6th time in a row Fanatical has not finished a race. Oh dear. So Stormhutto might need to have a bit of a chat there with the Ferrari, not the Ferrari, the McLaren driver. It's not finishing 6 races in a row is really problematic in terms of the constructors. However, he is sitting in a lofty P2 after getting pole. Dutchy out front though, controlling the pace. The battle for P2 resumes. We've got Bremer and Storm side by side. They're both going to end up off the track. This could end up in chaos. Oxy's got to watch out here. He could end up in some strife as we've got Kodia going back up the inside. He's made his way back into a lofty position now. He may have just got some front wing damage though. His Storm is going to drop down from 2nd to 6th and maybe 7th. He's going to need to give that position back to Oxy. Oh, it's a dangerous re-entry. Paddy Crow might have a look now. It's Stormhutto. Showed his nose. He's now given himself the opportunity to go right around the outside. That's Stowe. Can he get the power on early enough? No, he's made contact! And Paddy Crow is going around and into the barriers. And Stormhutto is going to continue to take drivers out of this race, whether that's on purpose or not. He has done it again, and this time Paddy Crow has fallen a victim to Stormhutto's contact. And he's going to drop a long way back now. P2 is now only 2 drivers, Goats and Crack, as Bremer is holding up the rest of the drivers for P4. And Paddy Crow has got big issues down there at the back, I think. Doesn't look like he's got any damage, but those tyres will no doubt be on fire. Fanatical going to leave the race. The shout is looking good, and that is a full safety car for Urban Growth. Has he done similar to Romain Grosjean? I want to know. That is very different to Romain Grosjean. That is on the inside, and that is the first safety car of the weekend. The Aston Martin safety car has been deployed, ladies and gentlemen. This may very well be the first time I've commentated and we've seen it. As Bearded Aussie, unfortunately, he's going to get a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Paddy Crow is also going to jump in the pits. Interesting to see what Paddy Crow, Paddy Crow, Pinju does here. Does he opt for the pit lane? He does. So Urban Growth also out of the race again. That's a shame for him. He looked like he had some real pace here in Silverstone and maybe on for some really good points, but unfortunately the points drought will continue here in Tier 2 for Urban Growth as the Arrow Corner has ended his race. So you can see the position changes so far after the first 6 races. Backstart. Reserves drive for whatever team they want unless you're a Williams driver, because Frizy doesn't like his driver driving for other teams. So Ferrari will get the points if Bremer scores it. Dutchy faking Goats. Goats going to go into the pits. And this is an awesome idea, apart from he sped. Now, last season, I will use a bit of experience here. What happened was, we had an early safety car on Sunday League. I opted to stay out. Broken Reptile and I believe Mitchie, who were the 2 championship rivals at that stage, pitted to the hard tyres at a similar lap. They took them all the way to the end and they won the race. Broken won the race comfortably over me. Because those tyres are not only really durable and not that far off the pace, but because I had to serve a green flag pit stop here, which is around 30 seconds lost. So Goats for Life is going to come out in P9. Oh, he's going for softs. Never mind. Pajala giving some stick to all the Tier 2 drivers now, saying get them to spend some time with the Div 3 boys. No VSC, no safety car, perfect racing by all involved. So, yes, 3 out already in this race. We didn't have any DNFs until the second last race lap of the Tier 3 race, so Pajala letting him know. Saying they are the benchmark, and that is what they strive to do. Now, Goat's going on the softs has really screwed himself here. He's really screwed himself. I would have gone the hards and gone as long as I possibly can, because the pit lane is so long that he will not. Those drivers, if it's a green flag, or if it's a green flag running for the rest of this Grand Prix, if he went the hards, then he would have won this race. I'm 99% sure. Elon going to get a 3-second time penalty under so it's a bit of an oopsie there from him. So let's have a look at the penalty count for some drivers. 5 seconds for Crack Blunan and Goats. Frizy, Elong and Pinju have 3, and Bearded Aussie has 8 already in this Grand Prix. So he'll be looking to change that up. Abyss show ties, yeah man. There you go. I reckon Pajala, it's all Pinju's fault. Yep, let's blame him. I agree with that statement. So let's spend some time watching the Aston Martin safety car out in front. I've yet to actually see this car, so looking very nice with the lime green / fluoro yellow lights on, and a very good looking safety car, I'm not going to lie. But we look at tyres. Ozvox has done what I said to do. Now whether he has the pace to hold these drivers off towards the end, I'm not sure. But the hard tyres is the way to go. Unless you started on the softs. So the drivers that started on the softs that went for mediums, they'll be able to go to that end there. So Pinju, Paddy, Bearded, Muckping and Elong are all going to be able to go to the end of this Grand Prix, as well as Ozvox. So 11th down to 16th are all going to be able to go to the end of this Grand Prix. Mediums less comfortably, but still get there nevertheless. As Taz Lightning reckons an Aston Martin 1-2. Well, one of them's down in 14th at the moment, mate, but Dutchy has got control of this race at the moment. But he's got 2 flying Ferraris behind him, looking to get past because they're on the better tyre, nevertheless. Pajala questioning Kahoot on his readiness for the Tier 1 Grand Prix tomorrow. But let's get rid of all of this. Let's get ready for the restart. Maybe the first, might not be the last, but we are going to go ahead and get ready for this start. I meant the safety car. Oh, yep. No, very true, very true, very true, very true. And Dutchy is now gone. As a reaction time, it's not great, to be honest. It is not great from Crack Balloon. It looks like Oxy trying to get some temperature in those tyres down the back. Let's see what carnage is in store for us at the back. It looks pretty calm, to be honest. These camera angles continue to be dog water on this game. Holy. Is Frizy going to get the move done on the championship leader? War Machine up at P9. He's doing an awesome job too. Storm P10 after getting pole. He's had a shocker. What is going on here? Oxy and JTM both going to lose out to Kodia. And Frizy going to go, thank you very much, Oxy. I'll be taking that. P6. And Goats for life around the outside of his championship contender. Dutchy is gone, and both the Ferraris have managed to pull out of the DRS zone. It's chaos ahead. Oxy's going to come back through and get the move done on Goats for Life. This is going to be carnage here in a second if they don't be careful. Oxy's going to get the job done on GTM. That was a very aggressive but very well done move there from Oxygen Thief. He's going to go back up into P6, and this is the battle that we expect to see here in Tier 3. JTM now trying to hold off the championship leader in Goats for Life. He's going to run out of ERS here. Here's Goats, and he does that. He's going to go right around the outside. He's on the better tyres. He's on fresh and soft tyres as well. And he's not quite going to get that one done at this stage. Oxy looking to get close to Frizy here and maybe get some clean air towards the other Alpine driver of Kodiak. We've got a yellow flag. It's Crack Balloon and he's out of the Grand Prix. He's done a similar thing to... I think he's done the same thing that Crew Takana did. And from second in this race, Crack has crashed out of the race, and we've got another virtual safety car in this one. And our fourth retirement of the Grand Prix. And with that retirement, Dutchy has now been gifted a 6-second lead, because I think Bremer may have been tangled up with his teammate there after he spun. But two drivers crashing at the one corner, as Baxter says, in 10 laps. We've also seen a retirement just there for Fanatical, and then at the final corner for Urban Growth. That's where your 4 retirements have been. Let's have a look at the warnings, because I don't really know what else to do, because we keep getting these safety. Dutchy with none. Bremer, he's got a penalty. Kodiak got 2. Frizy is using the limits. Oxy on 2. JTM on 2, Goats on 1, War Machine on 1, and Storm on 2. And who is this coming into the... Bremer gonna opt to bring it into the pits. Anyone else? No. So Bremer's gonna drop down to last year. I wonder if he did get tangled up with his teammate, and this is Ferrari. Butchering it yet again. Let's see, is it a front wing change just quickly? It is, so I think there may have been contact between the Ferraris, which would be absolute scenes if that is the case. But now the battle for third is well and truly on. Both the Ferraris are now at the back, one of them out, one of them all the way towards the back. And that has really opened up this race for these guys in this train here. From Frizy down to Warmish. There's stuff going on all over the shop. JTM trying to get the move done on Goats for Life, and then War Machine and Stormado also having a battle, as well as Elongated and Bearded Aussie. There's actually quite a battle pack going on through this field at the moment. But Dutchy in control out front. We'll come back to him later on in this race. Frizy has lost the position to Oxygen Thief, who looks like he got a good run out of Stowe and now has the position going into Magus and Chapel. Oxy looking to have the superior speed on Frizy. DRS is enabled though, and it is one of the more overpowered things at this Grand Prix circuit. JTM barely holding on to DRS of these three, and Frizy looking to grab some points after a big drought recently, so he'll be happy with probably just a top 5 at this stage. He's sitting quite lusciously in the top 10, but he won't be too happy with it. Frizy gonna lose this position now. Goes around the outside at turn 1. He's actually not going to be able to get the job done on these better soft tyres. He's going to send it up the inside now though. Does Frizy give him the space? Frizy does give him the space, but Frizy doing awesomely here to get the inside line for turn 4, but it does compromise your run all the way down into turn number 6. And DRS for both drivers, and it looks like Frizy is going to be running the less front wing, but Goats for Life, better confidence, better tyres. He's going to go up the inside. This battle is going on for what seems to be forever. And Frizy has the inside line for the next corner. Goats, they're rubbing these two. And are we going to see a Hamilton Verstappen thing here? No. Wait, with this contact! Is that damage? That could be damage for the championship leader after hitting the back of Frizy there, and that could be really painful there for Goats if that is damage on the Alpine. What can he do this time though? Frizy's doing an awesome job to hold on to the DRS while battling Goats. Here we go. Oh, the fake to the outside goes to the inside. Frizy around the outside. Can he hold on to it this time as well? He has a little bit more banging between these two. It's all safe and clean though. Around the outside for Goats. Turns to the inside. He's going to get the squeeze. These two are racing. Oh no! Frizy! I was about to compliment how well they're racing. Oh no. Oh, I was about to compliment how well the racing has been here. But it's gone to shambles and Frizy has pulled over. And Kevin Goats for life. That penalty basically just served a 15-second time penalty. And that has helped Oxygen Thief out tremendously. No, cubistic, but still. Oh, so it is chaos in Tier 3, but at least we're not all falling asleep because there's no safety cars and there's not much racing going on. JTM making a huge error there, and Stormhado has been able to get back into P5 somehow. I think he will be receiving some stewards penalties though, as well as Frizy. I think he will have to see the stewards after this one, unless Goats opts to not report him after letting him through, basically serving a 15-second time penalty. Storm got the DRS on JTM here. He's not quite going to be close enough going into the right-hander there. Beard and Elon also in this battle for fourth. As Kodia sitting in second, he's doing an awesome job there, is the Alpine driver. Mokping and Pinju trying to get in on this battle, as well as Paddy Crow for P4. Paddy Crow a little bit further off the couple of guys ahead, but we might just be looking after those tyres to get towards the end of this race. As we know, there's a few drivers that will have to pit, and they might be banking on a safety car here very shortly, because there's going to be a few that will not need to pit anymore. Bremen going to go purple with a 30.1, and elongated and below. Bearded Aussie going to go side by side through Stowe. Squeezing him all the way out to the outside is Bearded Aussie. Elongated going to get the job done though. A very nice move. JTM and Stormhado going to swap positions now. Stormhado, however, has got the what's the word? The compromised line through the right-hander, and that is going to cost him P5 in the end. JTM going to sneak right past for P4, and he's going to hold position for now. Elongated though wants in on Stormhado. He's going to get the slipstream off JTM. This could be very close by the time we get to the end of the straight, but no one going to end up being able to make a move. But Elon going to dive to the inside on Stormhado. Going to squeeze him all the way out to the exit curve. Can he go around the outside? Storm's going to keep the nose in, but Elon, job done for P5. Bearded Aussie now wants some of it. Up the inside, final corner. Are we going to see it again? Oh my, that's how you do it. And Pinju around the outside. Gonna grab a 3-second time penalty there, but out of nowhere is the Harstein Principal for P7. An awesome move there from him. Paddy Crow just dropping off these guys at the moment, even though they are battling. But yeah, Bearded Aussie unfortunately going to lose out there. As JTM going to hold the lead of this train for the time being. Oxygen Thief is closing up on Kodia though. Got some discussions going on about that incident between Frizy and Goats in the chat. Very interesting to see different people's perspectives. Well, I'm sure we'll get some different perspectives when we go back to the Discord tonight after this Grand Prix, when people really let other people know how they felt about their driving standards today. But Elon, this could be the move for P4, and it is. Job done quite comfortably actually for the Red Bull driver. It's now Red Bull 3-4 as Dutchy goes purple to 29.9. He's looking to pull away here as Kodia is first to pull the pin. He's decided, nope, that's enough. He's going to drop down a long way though. This is where those guys that stopped under safety car are at a very good chance of doing well at the end of this race. Kodia is going to be rapid for the rest of this race, as Goats is also going to have to stop again. So Goats' race is basically over without a safety car here, which is a bit of a shame for him. Oh, Mark Bing going to get very close there to the back of the Aston Martin. But the battle for P3 is now on. Storm Hutto wants a bit of JTM. And he's going to get that bit of JTM quite comfortably, but he's going to run it way too deep. And he's going to lose that position straight away. As Bremer and Ozvox going to swap positions now. But Kodia has come out in 14th, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I was saying about you've got to pit under those safety cars that you get in this race. Baxter Boy saying, come on, the Red Bulls. Fry will have a penalty. Winter, that's not necessarily true. He already served a 15-second time penalty by letting him back through, so he might just get a couple of super license points on that. But yeah. Looks like JTM is going to just hold on here in P4. If he can hold on to the back of Elongated and get these boys behind him just to sit in the train for now, but Bearded Aussie is going to opt to pit off 9-lap-old mediums. Paddy Crow's also in off mediums. Okay. I have no idea what these boys are doing anymore. To be honest, Pinju and Stormato are going to be fighting it out. These two already made contact in this Grand Prix. And it looks like Pinju has got the job done this time. Yes, he has. So P5 for the taking for Pinju, and he's looking to get some points finally for Haas, who have only scored points once this season, and that was in Azerbaijan with Jamie, who we know is now a Tier 1 driver. Otherwise, they haven't scored any points, and to score points in a race where they had a race ban, they wouldn't have saw it coming. But there's still a long way to go in this Grand Prix. 9 laps of running to go. Anything can happen. Dutchy could win it, to be honest. I don't think anyone would predict it, but nothing like a good old Dutchy bottle. As Kahoot says, actually, but as I say that, I read Dutchy bins it, and here it is. RRL Dutchy in the pit lane, Oxy in the pit lane. JTM might follow him in, and he is. JTM in. So Elongated, it's going to take the lead of the British Grand Prix. Pinju might have other words about that though. Remember, these boys that are on 9-10 lap old tyres did a couple laps under the safety car. But look at Dutchy drop down. He's already done his pit stop, so he mightn't be so bad. P6. Goats for Life is going to come out ahead of him, but Goats is going to have to pit anyway. So it's effectively P4 for Dutchy, and he's got a lot of time to find. I think these medium tyre runners would have to go to the end of this race, unless the safety car were to come out right now. Oxy's come out in P8, JTM's P10, Frizy has boxed and he is down in P12, which will soon to be P15. But this battle for the lead of the Grand Prix is well and truly on. Pinju now has the lead of the race after the front three all pit for fresh tyres. Paddy Crow going to make a move on Bearded Aussie towards the back. Sorry, I missed that one, guys. Elongated going to get past Mukping, I think. No, passed by Storm. So it might have been an error there from Elong, and he's managed to sneak back past Elong. I'm not too sure. Crazy Nunga saying War Machine for the win. It's desperate shout, to be honest. He's down in 14th at the moment, but this is Formula 1. I have seen crazy things. Anyway, Mukping now on the back of Elongated, whose tyres seem to be going off a touch now. is just so quick on this game. Don't be surprised if we see some more crashes in this one as the tyres begin to fall off, especially these top 5. I don't think there's any chance Storm and Goats can go to the end of this race. They'll need to pit in the next couple of laps. But can we see the pens? Yeah, man. There you go. I'm not going to read them out because there's just so many, but there's your pens. Stormhaddo's doing a really good job at holding on here. He's on those soft tyres. He's been on those soft tyres for more than half this race, but he is doing a very nice job here. No penalties either, which will probably be crucial towards the end. This is where Oxy, Storm and Paddy could really benefit of a late safety car with so many penalties throughout the grid. And it would be absolute chaos. There you go, man, all good. If we had a safety car now. Storm's doing what he needs to though. I'd probably stay out another lap. One more lap I would if I was Stormhaddo. He's going to do exactly that. Goats for life. Oh, his race is really over, isn't it, to be honest. So now here comes Dutchy though. They'll be battling by the end of this lap, if not before that. Dutchy going to get to the fastest lap of the race. It's only a few tenths faster than the previous fastest lap, and Goats is going to get another 3-second time penalty added on to the end of his race. He's now got 8 seconds of penalty, so that was his first one, but another penalty nevertheless. Can we see stops? Yeah. Here you go. Dutchy and Goats battling a lot earlier than I expected. Goats and Dutchy a bit of a... Oh dear. I wonder if that's a bit of rivalry happening right ahead of us here. Can we see a Lewis versus Max? No, we can't. God, wouldn't that be scenes if we see something like that, these two crashing together. Championship rivals, they don't like each other much, as you might have heard in podium interviews in past. And this will probably be the last opportunity Goats has at getting RL. Dutchy's a fair way back. The rest is powerful, but I don't think it's that powerful. He used all his ARS there too, but yeah, he's not quite going to have the pace, unfortunately, on these 12-lap-old softs. But it looks like he's going to be trying to take those to the end, which is an interesting call. But we'll see how it works out for him. Stormhaddo just barely holding on to Pinju's DRS as he just falls out of it as I say that. Stop. Winter. I think not penalties. Punctures could come into the fray here for Storm and Goats. I really do. We've still got 5 laps to go. They're going to do 18 laps on softs. I feel like that's unheard of at this track. 18 laps on softs. That's a lot of laps on the soft compound tyre. I don't even think that's quite possible. Even if they did do 1 or 2 under safety car, but you know, we shall see very, very shortly. There could also be another crash. We could see a safety car. There could be all sorts happening here. If we see another safety car, boy oh boy, there might be some drama. But I think Pinju has this race back. I think Mukping might have E3, but then in saying that, Mukping also has some penalties. If Oxy can clear Bremer quickly, then I don't think he's such a bad shot either. Paddy Crow battling at the moment with Bearded Aussie, and it's JTM. We'll come back to that battle in a minute. Let's just watch Oxy and Bremer, sorry, actually Dutchy and Elon going very close. We'll come back to that. Oxy and Bremer not going to quite go for it at this stage. Dutchy on the charge with 5 to go. He's going to go to the inside here at turn 1. This could be carnage. Beautiful racing, I think. Oh, Elong's left the track, unfortunately, but I think that was fairly clean. What about Oxy? When is he going to be thinking about getting past the Ferrari of Bremer? Remember, Bremer normally drives the Red Bull. He's currently battling his team principal. However, he is reserving in the Ferrari today. Be interesting to see what Bremer does here. Does he let the team principal go past, or does he battle him for position? He's got about 10% more ARS. He's using it, and he's not going to be able to get past here. But he's going to take a corner cut. Is Oxy, and that could be close. It's your boy here, Reckoning. Storm wins. Those tyres are going to die now, and yep, he's fallen off. 6 seconds though. We've got a yellow flag. Oh, it's only a machine. Oh, could you imagine? Could you imagine? Oh, we've got one! It's Oxy! He's off! Oxygen Thief is off the track, ladies and gentlemen. He's had contact with Bremer, and potential wing damage, I'm not too sure. And the team principal has made contact with a Padawan. Oh dear. And the battle for P10 resumes here. By the way, Paddy Crow getting a penalty as well as Oxy. So Storm Hardo, the only driver without a penalty at this stage. Can I show pens quick? Yeah, man. So there's your gap to the leader. If Storm had to pit, it would drop nearly outside the 10. I think he would almost drop all the way outside the 10. Which would be a shame. Chris saying ha ha ha. Rip Bremer. Bremer taking out not only his teammate, I think, but the team principal. I think there'll be some stern words said over in the Red Bull team chat later on tonight. No doubt there will be some stern words. I think Paddy Crow and Peter Aussie are going to continue this battle that we've sort of just been watching by the timetable on the left. But it's been going on race long. Paddy Crow will be looking to get just a point if he can out of this race. By the looks of it, that's all he's going to get. But yeah, I still don't believe these guys are going to go 18 laps on softs. War Machine's in the pits, getting a fresh set of softs. He's going to try and get that fastest lap, which is very interesting. Pinju out front by less than 3 seconds. He's got 6 seconds of penalties, does the Haas team principal. Everyone backing Storm for a win. He hasn't done that this season, I don't think, over here in Formula Race here. Let me just double check that. No, his best position is a P3, but we won't jinx anything yet. We've still got 3 to go. Anything could happen. We could still have a potential 1-lap safety car. So, seriously, anything could happen. We've got a yellow flag. I think that's just War Machine jumping out of the way. And Goats, don't do anything reckless. It's not the Red Bull you're battling in the championship. The Red Bull you're battling in the championship has made contact with his team, with one of his drivers, and he's down in P9. So this is championship-changing shit here today. Dutchy pushing onto the back of Muck Ping, who's going to get another 3-second time penalty. So Dutchy could jump on the podium here. But what looks like a certain race win is going to be a win for Storm at this stage. Pinju, however, does look like he's got the pace, but we'll see in 2 laps' time what the status quo is. Pinju may actually finish a race, but we won't jinx him yet. Or is that already me jinxing it? I don't really know. Here we go. The battle for P9 is well and truly on here, ladies and gents. Between Oxy, JTM, Paddy Crow, and Bearded Aussie. He's had a shocker. Not really sure what's happened to him afterwards. JTM going to get the job done actually on Oxy, who probably didn't think he would be battling for fringe points today, but what I believe is contact between teammates, or between team principal and Padawan, has cost him big points in this one, and it's cost him big points in the championship. Elon not being able to do anything against Goats at this stage. However, Goats does have 5 seconds more of penalties, so Goats could lose a couple of spots yet, potentially. Lots of drivers spread out at the moment here. We got a battle for P3. Sorry, I've only got one hand at the moment. Battle for P3 is well and truly on here between RRL, Dutchy and Mark Ping, both 6 seconds ahead. And there's the move for P3. Now Dutchy will be hoping he doesn't get any more warnings. That's all he has to do now, and he'll consolidate that P3 finish. Storm Hutto just has to stay within another 2 seconds of Pinju. And he will win this race, but we've got one to go, ladies and gentlemen. In this British Grand Prix, the last time these drivers will circulate this track. And the battle for 9th is on. Well and truly. If you look at Pens, it'll be Oxy that holds onto it from Paddy in the last 2 points paying positions. Mike Pink looks to have dropped off Dutchy. What about Elong and Goats? Does Elong have anything? No, he doesn't. Bremer's going to hold P7, you'd think. Coddy is going to hold P8. And this is the battle we'll be watching for this final lap. Oxy probably doesn't want to be here. JTM and Oxy battling out here. If I was Oxy, I would not be fighting this at all. JTM has about the same ERS, and Oxy's going to battle it. But I kind of want to go back to that battle, to be honest. Mate, I don't know what to do here. Pinch is going to cross the line in the lead of this Grand Prix. However, it's going to be a Storm Hutto Grand Prix win for the first time this season. Dutchy takes the fastest lap and a podium. Let's go back to this battle for 9th. Here it is. JTM pushing. Oxy has 3 seconds, so he's going to get this P9 at this stage. Bearded Aussie looks to have just fallen off this back, and he has a lot of penalties anyway. As Bremer is going to drop down to 7th, and Oxy has spun with JTM. There's contact. Bearded, he's going to come across. Oh, dear. And Oxy's only going to get P11. Oxygen Thief does not score points in the British Grand Prix after making contact with its JTM. It's going to be no points for the Red Bull team principal. Oh dear. And the championship changes again, ladies and gentlemen. Storm Hutto wins the British Grand Prix from Pinju and Dutchy. A fairly different top 3 to what we are used to with Pinju and Storm. But what scenes, ladies and gents. In that final corner, JTM and Oxy taking each other out, and Paddy Crowe going to sneak through for a couple of points in the end. And there's the celebrations. Finally some more points for Haas, and Pinju finally going to finish a Grand Prix. Would have been the race win without penalties, but Storm Hutto, the only driver not to get penalties, and that is what happens. However, he may see the stewards afterwards, so Pinju still could win this race. We won't know till later on. But there is your race winner for the time being, pre-stewards. Dutchy fastest lap by a country mile on that last lap. As I'm just going to quickly grab the whole standings there. 19 drivers. And what a race. My throat is hurting. Storm Hutto, pole and the win. Not without any drama though. And I think that maybe a visit to the stewards for him. Pinju could still win this race. Dutchy there as well. Mukping P4, Elongated P5, Goats P6, Kodia P7, Bremer P8. He'll be getting a talking to from the team principal, no doubt. Paddy Crowe ending up P9, JTM P10, and Oxy P11. He'll be absolutely fuming under that helmet at the moment. Might even chuck a bit of Max Verstappen against a couple of those drivers there. But let's get the top 3 into the party for now, which could very well change post-race. Dutchy, we want else we want? We want Dutchy, we want Storm. Here we go. Storm. Invite to party, and we want Pinju. The big penguin. Where is the penguin? Is he showing us offline or something? Here he is. Invite to party. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. I've got Dutchy in here at the moment as well as Storm, and now Pinju's joined. So we've got the top 3 in. However, this top 3 could very well be jumbled up post Stewards. I think the Stewards are going to have a busy night tonight, sorting out a few incidents. And yeah, there might still be a change to the order, no doubt. But we'll just quickly jump over to the showroom and let's see this Aston Martin for not the first time this season, that's for sure. And let's have a chat to RL Dutchy. P3 today, mate. Looked good for the win, but pitting under safety car is just so overpowered here in Britain. Just give us your rundown.
Yeah, GG's to Storm and Pinju there. Storm went well. Obviously, the strategy played into his hands pretty well, and Pinju getting those penalties obviously helped him get that win, but well deserved to him, I think. Definitely probably wasn't catching them. I think my strat would have been alright if it was only VSCs, not safety cars, but that safety car came out at that weird time where it was like you could pit now, but you don't have to. But anyway, so that's why I stayed out, hopefully trying to gap the rest of the field as much as I could. But and then that little battle with Goats, I didn't like him obviously pushing me a little bit wider than what he should have, I guess, coming in way too hot, so I gave him a little bit of a good old Dutchy squeeze, but I'm pretty sure I'll probably get a penalty for that, so GG's podium. Anyways, P3, I can't complain, to be honest. Yeah, and I don't know, I'm pretty happy, but yeah.
Yeah, good result in the end after what was an action-packed race. Both championship leaders not on the podium, one championship contender out of the points after some chaos. I think for you, Dutchy, you had a fairly mediocre race in terms of entertainment and battling. I think definitely a watch back for this one might be in order, just so you can see what happened. But well done to you, for you today, mate. You've managed to continue to close the gap on the top 3, although it is quite a large gap still. So, well done. Now, provisional P2, as Storm will probably take a visit to the stewards for an incident earlier in the race. But Pinju, mate, you've finally finished a race.
Yeah, I think that's... we shouldn't focus on it being a podium and points, just me finishing a race. That is an F2 in OCs. I think the main accomplishment here, boys. Finally got it done. I don't know, race was alright. Setup felt quite good, like it was really stable. So I was just able to push. Had contact with Storm, probably shouldn't have gone there, so that's probably my fault. So I'm not going to be sending him to the stewards for that. So yeah, I don't know if he did anything else to be sent to, but anyway, Peter with the mediums, and then I just got lucky with that safety car really. Like I was long gone, I think 45 seconds behind Paddy Crow, and just nowhere, and the safety car more or less just kind of brought me back into the race, and that's really the only reason I was up there. I did gap Storm at the end, but he was on 19 lap old softs to older softs, so old softs over old mediums. The mediums are going to be faster than the softs, is just kind of how it is. But yeah, car was on the ropes the whole entire time, right at the end there, but yeah, it was alright I suppose. So yeah, on to Hungary I suppose.
Yeah. A good result from you, and just getting some confidence back in the game and the car and everything. Your first points this season in Formula OC F1 cars, that is.
Yeah.
And yeah, just highlighting again, maybe showing the Tier 1 drivers just how overpowered it is pitting under that safety car here in Britain with the 30+ second pit stop that it does take. It really can be costly if you don't pit under that safety car. So well done today, Pinju, mate. You got the strategy completely right, and P2. And now we move on to the McLaren, ladies and gentlemen. The first time we are going to see Storm Hutto on the top step of the podium provisionally. I don't know if apparently he's not going as steward, says Pinju, so this could be P number 1 for you today, Storm, and your first race win of the season, mate. How do you feel?
Fantastic. Yeah, the twice to on at the end there. I didn't feel too comfortable. I was very surprised that you and who was it, Mukping, I think, took those softs Goats.
so long.
It was
Was it Goats?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's all good.
I was like, surely this is puncture territory now, but
No.
fantastic control from you, and you got the strategy perfect. Opting the soft tyres was the faster way in the end.
Wasn't my idea. It was the Hoots.
Fair enough,
So
fair enough. Kahoot with the master plan.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, you had to put the car there in the first place, Storm, and you did exactly that, mate. An awesome result. You've had a few tough races since Spain, but a big bag of points today, and that'll surely shoot you up the standings a little bit. So, yeah, congratulations to you, and congratulations to our top 3 for tonight. Your race winner is Storm Hutto in the McLaren team principal, and he's just showing everyone how to do it here in Britain. So tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, we have the final round of the week, the British Grand Prix for Tier 1. That will be no doubt a cracker, with a big championship fight on there between Noodles and Kahoot. And I know a few drivers are really confident here, and I know a few drivers really don't like it. So tomorrow will be interesting one to watch. So definitely come and tune in at 5 PM Australian Eastern Daylight Time. But otherwise, till next week, we will catch you later.